Hi, this is Catherine and Christopher Tipper of Hunter Benefits Consulting Group, and this is part of our On the Couch series. And we have some guests.
Yeah,
today.
well, it was actually a new segment, Meet the Advisor.
Meet the Advisor.
There's no
And we
bourbon.
have two.
Yeah. So I thought our first guests should be two of the people we've dealt with the longest. I can't remember dealing or doing anything with Hunter Benefits without you guys. So thank you very much for being our first and spending some time with us. And first we have
David Johnson, and 18 years at Northwestern Mutual,
That would
right?
be correct, yes.
Yeah. And you have an MBA from Kansas, right?
Yes, that's
Go
right.
Jayhawks.
That's right.
And then Vince Delack, he's got more letters. Okay. CLU, CHFC, CFP. Did I do that right? In 38 years. You've been there a
Yes.
really long time. And
I started when I was 12.
Yes.
For those who
You're
are
younger
doing
than me.
math.
He started out with the Boy Scouts.
Yeah,
so
there
That's right.
it was
just-
a Boy
It was
Scout
a
badge.
it was a merit badge.
All right,
absolutely.
very, very good.
You're right.
And you are both the founding partners of Butterfield Partners.
Correct.
All right.
Yes,
So
yes.
thank you very much for being with us today. We have 8 pre-approved questions for you.
Right.
We will. The
Do you have
first.
pre-approved ansers?
The last 5 are going to be the lightning round, and you're playing for Vince's Cadillac because I'm guessing he still has one. Okay. So Catherine, why don't we start off?
Well, thank you, gentlemen. How long have you been working with qualified plans?
Well, I'll start. For me, as an advisor, about 25 years. And before that, maybe 5 years on the investment committee for our own 401k when I was in the banking world. So I guess that's 30 years.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a little longer. I probably started a couple years into my career, and prior to that, I was administrator for our company's profit sharing plan. We had about 300 people in the plan, and often found them coming to me for advice on where to put their money and how to invest. So that was kind of the start of my interest in retirement plans for my career too.
Okay, but you both. Okay, I'm not implying anything here, Vince. I'm bad at math in my head. But when you started, there was already ERISA, right? Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You started. No. Again, I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to do the math backwards.
Right,
and not
right,
doing very.
right.
Well, it hadn't been very. If you've been at Northwestern Mutual 38 years, it hadn't been around for very long then. So.
That's correct.
Right.
Right. Yes.
So what did you do before you worked at Northwestern Mutual?
Dave, you want to?
Sure. I started out as eventually a partner at what's now Ernst & Young.
Oh.
And bailed out of that, quite a traveling job, shall we say, and
Really?
joined a community bank as president of a community bank, and the banks all merged. I eventually was chairman of the trust department, and there we manage money for individuals and for 401k plans.
Okay.
In fact, we bought an advisory firm, and so that really got me into the 401k and qualified plan space, where we were doing that for our trust clients.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic.
Then I joined Northwestern Mutual in 2003 to specialize in qualified plans.
Okay.
Vince was one of the few guys in the firm then that specialized in
Right.
qualified plans at Northwestern Mutual, looking for additional guys, and I was one of them.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I had a dual role. I mentioned my involvement with the
Right.
profit sharing plan.
Right.
I was also general manager for one of the subs in our company, probably the second most profitable. And in fact, we spent probably about 6 months working on a business plan, very corporate environment. And I had to present to the board what our plans were, and spent a significant amount of time getting ready for this. And in the middle of my presentation, the CEO said, "Vince, can you hurry it along? Joe here has to catch a plane." And I thought, oh gosh, I'm working all this time, and you're worried more about his plane. So
Yeah.
that really got me motivated to thinking about my own business. I figured if I'm working this hard for somebody else, I could probably do it for myself
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
And that's what really was the start.
With an impetus for ours. So I think we need to change the next question. So
Well, do you? What drew you to plans? I mean,
Oh.
just
Why
was it
qualified
a good
plans?
opportunity, or
Right.
just why qualified plans? 'Cause
Well,
this
for
is
me,
just-
it was just kind of a natural fit because of my experience running the company's plan.
Right.
I had an occasion to meet with the CEO of a company in Chicago. And during the course of our conversation, he says, I'm really interested in setting up a retirement plan for my employees. Can you do that? And in Northwestern Mutual, we're always used to saying yes. Good. It was pretty much no problem. But it was really a matter of then figuring out how I'm going to do this. I had to find a TPA. I had to figure out what product to recommend, and it really worked. So from there, it just kind of mushroomed.
So somebody sold you into it almost,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Well, in my case, being at the bank, you really met some loan customers who really had no idea what the qualified plan was about. They knew their business, they knew the financing, and so as you got into the 401k world, and I use 401k as kind of a surrogate for qualified plans, you really realized there was a lot of opportunity,
Right.
both at the company level to have a better plan and at the participant level to understand what you're doing. And again, our customers really focused on their business and the loan relationship in the 401k kind of language. And so it became kind of an appeal for me at that time. And that's when I left the banking world, when the bank was dissolving, shall we say. I decided to pursue qualified plans because of that appeal.
Right. Yeah. We do seem to accidentally get in this.
Right.
Don't we?
Yeah.
So I think our son has been brought kicking and screaming into the industry. He's one of the few people to be raised with it, but for the most part, we find it by accident.
Yeah.
When you're helping clients with their qualified retirement plans, is there an industry you think you've been most successful with?
Well, I think our whole area is really focused on a lot of services. There are not too many manufacturers around. So in our practice, we have medical businesses, we have just plain services, so we're just really focused on the company and its profitability and its ability to run the plan, as well as focus on the participants and just really service them as much as we can, because we feel that the environment, nationally, we don't think 401k participants get enough help.
No.
And I think that's what motivates Dave and me, and just to drive home the point of planning for yourself, pay yourself first is kind of our mantra. So that's kind of our gig.
Yeah. Okay. And I'd say instead of industry, I think we really enjoy companies that have sophisticated employees, educated employees, maybe familiar with the markets, and some who really, that's just not their world at all.
Right.
We've just really sort of developed over time a rapport with both groups. And so we really like companies where there's a chance to deal with the rank and file, who might be saving for the first time, and people who have been saving for their whole career.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a range.
So it seems like I'm taking the next question. So it seems like, well, it's geography and industry, in that there's not a lot of manufacturing firms to help around here. We are predominantly service,
right.
But that the service industry also provides you with a mix of, let me rephrase that, is that the service industries generally are willing to have their participants spend enough time to get educated about the plans. Does that sound about right as well?
We love it when an employer is committed to the benefit plan.
Yeah.
Right.
And they promote our presence on a quarterly meeting, semi-annual or whatever, and they're involved with the oversight of the plan. They keep notes and so on. That's just an absolute joy.
But
joy for us too.
That crosses industries, though. That crosses industries.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, we want the same people.
Yeah.
So do we jump to the last one, or do you
No,
feel like
we've
we've
got.
covered?
I really want to go through. I really want to do the next one.
Sure, go for it.
Okay. Well, so do you have is there a success story that you're both together or separately really proud of that you can share?
Yeah, we have two.
Yeah. We have many. We'll cover two that we can agree to.
And that you can share. Yes.
Right.
And one involves you, and that is, Vince and I have a client with another advisor that is a law firm.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
yeah.
And had an administrator that we inherited on the team that kind of had there were a lot of loose ends still. And in fact, it was such that when we first brought you guys on board, you and I sat down in the CFO's office for like 3 hours one afternoon to get our arms around things. And that went so well, they've since added a cash balance plan. And your associate, Gail Goodwin, has been on the plan dealing with some attorneys who are very knowledgeable in many things and not always in others.
And are very detail-oriented in their questions.
Very, very detail-oriented.
Okay.
And so we've really gotten them to embrace qualified plans, even at the cash balance level, and participation is quite good. Contributions are quite good. So I'd consider that a success story.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Well, follow up to that, not more recent, is a physician, very successful person, 7-figure income, had been operating a SEP plan as his sole, and not very well because really wasn't following the eligibility guidelines and so on. He was referred to us, and we talked about funding and eligibility and discrimination testing, and Gail, again, was just instrumental in helping service this plan. So we set up 401k profit sharing with them, as well as a cash balance on top, and I think now his contributions have gone from about 57,000 to about 250,000 that he's benefiting. He's pretty thrilled.
Well, okay. I very rarely am I embarrassed. Very rarely am I caught flat-footed on camera, I think. But when I came up with this question, I honestly never expected it to be about plans we were doing together. So thank you very much.
Right.
That's very nice.
Now we get great support here.
Well,
you know,
you.
and wonderful staff selection, and they stay, and they just are really great help.
Right.
So that's unsolicited for those.
I'll give you a third one.
Sure.
That sort of
Keep it rolling.
also kind of gets into how our partnership really formed. I mean, when I joined Northwestern Mutual in 2003, there were really no things as partnerships in Northwestern Mutual.
Okay.
Perhaps some guys unofficially worked on projects together, but Vince and I had lunch at the now defunct Baker Square there on Butterfield Road. And kind of talked about his practice, what my experience was, and felt like, these could be very complementary. Okay, talk is cheap. So I go out to my first opportunity, and one of the things we talked about was Vince enjoys setting up a plan from start, working with the TPA. What is the eligibility? Is there a match? What's the vesting schedule? You got to do Roth, loans, that kind of thing. I sort of prefer a plan that's working and some of the intricacies. So I go call, and these guys have a very convoluted situation, and they want to start a plan. I called Vince from the parking lot. This is a true story. And said, Vince, I've just talked to this guy, blah blah. And Vince goes, I'll work with you on it. We still have that plan. Vince reached out to you guys. You set up a plan for him.
Okay.
I don't know that I've ever been back to the client, but we still have them, and Vince has done all the work. So it's been a great partnership from the beginning for me.
You're very welcome, David.
Yeah, he's clipping coupons. I'm doing the work.
Well, we've got one more question for the close. So thank you guys. This has been great. One more.
Well, do you guys have any ideas on a prediction for what you think is going to happen in the future for the industry? Where are we going?
Well, I don't think there's ever going to be a situation where the government will step in entirely and pay us $8,000 a month when we retire. So I do feel that there will be continued legislative support for retirement plans. It'll just be a matter of how much can be put away periodically. But I do feel that people in our legislature are interested in helping people have something, and it's just a matter of the substance and so on. But we hope that the 401k environment certainly will flourish and give us new opportunities.
Yeah.
I would add that I think there will be continuing support for some good things. For instance, when the QDIA came out to give some some relief if you made sure your default was a suitable investment for folks to kind of help people not make mistakes. I think we will continue to see where asset allocated funds, whether age-based or risk-based, allow a level of protection at the plan sponsor level, and so those will be encouraged more and more. And I do think that there will be more education on how your balance translates into income. Because really, when you retire, you're looking for a check, not a balance. And we spend a lot of time educating on what a balance might look like, and I think there'll be some more support for that in the future, and those are good things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you very much, but I'm going to take both of your answers and turn them into one-word answers.
Okay.
Rosie. I mean, for the industry, is it? Do you? I mean, it's a positive. It's an optimistic. We've had the Secure 2.0 passed out of. I don't know if we didn't have a chance to talk about that yet. I mean, yes, I know it just left committee last week, but there's some good things there. We're not going to be legislated out of existence.
Right.
So.
Right. Listen, the 401k world is the biggest saving vehicle in the United States now, I think, by accounts. And so you really can't go backward from that.
Nope.
It's going to go forward.
And I think really the best way for people to save, period. I think it's well recognized as a great discipline system to save. And more employers are embracing that idea to help their staff. And they're realizing, too, that if you really want to grow as a company and have good people, you need to support them with some good retirement planning.
We're doing the best we can to help them all. So,
Right.
all right.
Right. Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. This has been a long time coming. I've been really looking forward to this. Thank you very much for showing up and doing this today. This was really, really super.
It's our pleasure.
Maybe,
We enjoy our
maybe we do the bourbon one now.
Thank you very much for your time. If you need some more information, please email us at sales@hunterbenefits.com or go to hunterbenefits.com, and don't ever forget to like, share, comment. Please help us to get the word out there. Thank you.